Oh, man, and listen, we've been talking so much about relationships and empowerment and all this other stuff or whatever. And you notice that I throw things out there like, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are having a personal problem, you guys should go and get you some couples therapy. But I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he was like, man, suppose couple therapy don't work. And I was thinking about the baby and his girl and Will Smith and his wife. And I was just thinking like, well, suppose couple therapy don't work. Like, what does it entail? And what would be the reasons why it wouldn't work? So I put together this montage of things, of professionals basically saying why couple therapy won't work, and certain signs and things that you need to look out for and be aware of. So let's get into it.
Hello and welcome. My name is John Edwards, and I am a certified Gottman Method couples therapist and a licensed psychotherapist. I'm really excited to bring you the very first episode of the Relationship Success Cafe. So during these episodes, I will be providing you with tidbits on how to make your relationship a success. So the very first episode will be the top 6 reasons why marriage counseling doesn't work. And you're probably wondering, wait, didn't he just say that he was going to give us tidbits of information in order to help us make our relationships better? That is correct. But I'm going to tell you why one of the most common things that people do to make their relationships better doesn't work, and that is marriage counseling. So here are the top 6 reasons why marriage counseling doesn't work. Okay, here we go. Reason number 6. You have a bad marriage counselor. That's right. You heard me correctly. I'm saying you have a bad marriage counselor. Your counselor was trained in couples counseling or marriage counseling. He or she is just really bad at what they do. And in this case, it won't matter because they're just bad at what they do. Just as how they're bad drivers, they're bad doctors, they're bad lawyers, they're bad nurses. You have a bad marriage counselor, and if that's what's happening, couples counseling will not work. Reason number 5. You don't have a good fit with your marriage counselor. So research is very clear that the biggest reason that counseling succeeds is because the client likes the counselor. And so if you're having marriage counseling with a counselor or a psychotherapist that you do not like, it is probably not going to work.
Salute, I see you.
Reason number 4. Couples wait an average of 6 years of having problems before they go get help. That's right, 6 years. Usually around year 3, couples realize, we're having some problems, we should probably do something about it. Most don't. Most wait another 3 years, and then they decide, we should really go get some help. But guess what? By the time you get to the couples counselor's office, your problems are like gangrene. They're really bad. You're in a lot of distress. And then what tends to happen is folks go, I don't want to do this much work to save this relationship. And so it doesn't really matter what the couples counselor does. People don't want to work that hard, and so it doesn't really work. Reason number 3. One member of the couple is not really committed to the process, right? So they go, I'll go to couples counseling because everything in the relationship would be great if you can fix her. The problem is that it takes 2 people to have problems, and therefore it takes 2 people to rebuild, reconnect, and revitalize the relationship. So if one person is there really so that the other person can get fixed, then the couples counseling is not going to work. Reason Number 2, one person in the relationship. They've probably already seen an attorney. They're thinking about who's going to get the kids. They're thinking about who's going to get the dog or the cat. And the only reason they go to couples counseling is so that they can check it off on a box and say, yep, I tried it. And
good point.
They basically, as my former Korean co-worker used to say, they're saving face. So they're going to counseling so they can tell their friends, their co-workers, their family, kids, whoever might ask, yeah, we tried counseling, but it didn't work. But they were never committed to the counseling process to begin with. They were only doing it so that they can say, yeah, I tried it. And so therefore, the couples counseling will not work. Okay, let's recap before we get to the number 1 reason. Reason number 6, you have a bad couples counselor. Reason number 5, you do not have a good fit with your counselor. You don't really like your couples counselor. Reason number 4, you've waited too long. You've waited a long time and your problems are really, really bad. And so you've now decided that, yeah, you don't want to do that much work. Reason number 3, one person is only going because they think the other person has all the problems. Reason number 2, one person has already emotionally left the relationship. And now we are ready for reason number 1 as to why couples marriage counseling does not work.
Okay. What is it?
And here we go.
Hurry up, John.
The number 1 reason why couples counseling or marriage counseling does not work. You are seeing a couples therapist or a marriage counselor who has 0 training or very little training in couples counseling or marriage counseling. We have a bad marriage counselor or we have a bad marriage counselor. Number 6, the couples therapist or marriage counselor has training in couples counseling or marriage counseling. They're just bad at it. This reason, the number 1 reason, is that the therapist that you may be seeing has 0 training or very little training in couples counseling or marriage counseling. And therefore, not only do they not know what they're doing, they're also bad at it because they don't know what they're doing. And so
let me pause this real quick. You know, anyone that is seeking professional help to make sure that their relationship survives, you know, to take the rocky turmoil and the trial and tribulation to try to figure out a way forward, I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. Here's my reasoning. Like, here's some of my reasoning. First of all, try not to get a counselor that already shows that they're biased. Like they already show, like, okay, well, like let's say, okay, I have a friend who's a counselor, so I would get my friend to come give us couples therapy. You know what I'm saying? I think they're not a non-biased party. You want someone that can learn both of you all. You don't want anyone that's going to be biased in the situation. So probably not a friend of the family, probably not somebody you go out and drink with and party with, you know, or somebody that, you know what I'm saying, you know all their secrets, so they're not about to sit there in front of your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend and say anything. I think a lot of people go to couples counseling to be able to have a aha moment. Like, you know, I've been telling you that, so I'm so glad that you told that to her, or I'm so glad that you told that to him, or whatever. They want an aha moment. It's not to heal anything, it's not to fix anything, it's just to have someone else in the know of pointing the finger. So you have to be careful and mindful, and you guys have to come to a common ground in regards to saying, well, what are we going for? What are we going to this counseling for? What are we trying to accomplish? And I think that he's exactly right in regards to picking a counselor that is going to give you a balanced response, that is going to give you balance. Only one person their effort or whatever. My thought process is that there's a reason why it's called couples therapy. If the couple does not want to participate in the therapy, then it's going to be null and void. So I definitely agree with a lot of what he's saying or whatever. But let's dive deeper into another one of the videos
Like many things that help our relationships, couples therapy has a habit of sounding appallingly unromantic, involving patience, grueling work, and a host of embarrassing conversations about matters it would be much easier never to have to think about, let alone discuss with a partner and a trained stranger. Our culture has to trust and follow our feelings, but couples therapy knows that feelings are, for the most part, errant and encoded with primitive responses from a troubled past.
You're right, Lady Portia.
So, instead, couples therapy encourages a far wiser response, standing well back from our first impulses, neutralizing them through understanding, and where possible, rerouting them in less self-punishing and more trusting directions. Living alongside another person is obviously one of the hardest things we ever attempt. We should expect to get it wrong unaided and feel unashamed about the need for in-depth training. There are a number sulking, normally far too cross with or upset by our partner to be able to share with them in a way they'd understand what we're actually so angry and upset about. It helps to be in front of a stranger we're both a little intimidated by and have to behave ourselves with. It's highly unusual to be able to put things simply and unenthusiastically when I touch you is slowly killing me. And though I love you, I don't know how much sniping and repressed fury. Secondly, therapists are skilled at teasing out from us why what bothers us bothers us. Normally, left to our own devices, we don't unearth the emotional meaning behind our positions. We squabble about
main things is I don't want to be with anybody that promotes jealousy. I don't want to be with anyone that don't know their worth. Like, to me, like those type of people operate on like low vibrations, like, and they bring down your energy. Like, you have to wake up to someone that's already starting out miserable. Already starting out, you know what I'm saying, just like the odds are always stacked against them. They're never happy, you know, and I think that right there is draining for any relationship. So me personally, like, let's just say, okay, I was with somebody like that. I don't know if I would want to go to couples therapy, because my thought process is, I would tell you, hey, this is what I think. I think that you have low self-esteem. I think that you operate at a low vibration. I think that you are jealous. I think that you are insecure. Like, I would say those things to my partner if I cared about them. The issue is that we're going to go to a counselor, and the counselor is going to say exactly what I'm saying, but then it's going to be like a revelation. And I think I would be annoyed with that. Like, if I was sitting there and I was like, I said all of this shit yesterday. Am I paying for this shit? I just said the same shit. I mean, would you be annoyed if you go to someone? I mean, you know, you got those third parties out there. When you pull a third party for whatever reasons into your relationship, and you go and you tell them what the problem is, and then they throw it back. It's like going to a pastor. A lot of people use their pastor as some type of spiritual guidance, you know what I'm saying, a voice of reason. So imagine if your pastor sits you guys down, and the pastor starts to say what you've been telling your partner all along. And whereas you want to say, aha, I told you, you's a crazy motherfucker. You's a crazy motherfucker. I told pastor, get her, ass. Y'all know, ladies, y'all know, yeah, you get him, pastor. You get his sorry ass. Come on, you know, we're excited about that. We're excited to hear, you know what I'm saying, someone else, you know, chime in and say the things that we've said. But here's the issue. The issue is that I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed that we had to go to this length, and that you value someone else's opinion over my own. Like, it wasn't good enough when I was telling you X, Y, and Z. Now it's good enough that someone else is telling you. It's such a revelation. And I think that I'd be annoyed at that. Like, I would definitely be annoyed at having a conversation, being vocal, being upfront, and saying, yo, these are my feelings, this is why I feel like that, and then validating that with facts, to turn around and have someone dismiss it. And then when you go to the counselor says, well, everything that was validated with facts That's true. That is exactly what's going on. And then for someone to sit there and be like, you're right. How the hell is there? See, that's why I see. No, I can't. This is too much for me. Too much. Jada LaRue is in the building. I see you. I'm just saying, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? Hassan, I see you. I just feel like I don't want to be in a situation where I have to constantly deal with someone who is looking for a problem. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a relationship where it's like, well, what's the problem going to be today? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's draining. It's emotionally draining. It's mentally draining, you know, and those things, they weigh a toll on how you conduct your life in real life and how you treat other people. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find that you're happier dealing with other people on a regular basis, that you're going to, when they call you, you're going to feel a certain type of way. When they're around you, you're going to feel a certain type of way. But when you get away from them, it's almost like, you know how Superman got his kryptonite thing, right? And how he feels, you know, of course he feels weak, he feels drained when that shit is around. But when they're not around, let's say they're the kryptonite, when they're not around, you're back to being a superhero. Like, I've seen people like that. I've seen people, when their significant other is not around, they're superheroes. But when they're with their significant other, it's almost like it's no life. Like, it's no life. Have you ever seen a couple out, movies, dinner, or whatever case may be, and both of them on the telephone? Like, both of them on the cell, like their heads are down in their phone. They're literally sitting across the person they're on the date with, but their heads are down like that. I always be like, well, why are they not? Listen, bro, I'm petty, bro. I'm like, why y'all not talking? Are y'all? You know, you should be enjoying the conversation in the company of the person that you're with. You know, I don't know, I would be annoyed if I was sitting on a date or I was out with my significant other and someone decided that they wanted to pull out their phone and just be buried in their phone and not have a conversation. That would annoy me. That would annoy me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Uncle Stu in the building. That would annoy me. You know, that would annoy me. Let's get to this next one real quick, and then we're gonna jump back into this. Let's see here.
Andre and Demisio are your modern Brady Bunch. Each with 2 kids, they met, fell madly in love, and moved in together. At first, they seem like the perfect fit, but then 3 years later, they're at their wits' end. We sent them to sex therapist Dr. Chris Donahue to see if their relationship could be salvaged.
Right now, my boyfriend Demisio and I are on the verge of breakup. Demisio stays out sometimes until like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Over this past weekend,
I heard that you guys had
In the morning, and where he's been or who he's been with.
we're in a relationship that is going down.
So what do you think when you hear that?
I take full responsibility for what I've done. I've been a little combative, argumentative.
She's been verbally abusive, physically abusive. She has put her hands on me.
I've apologized to him. I'm trying to change, but he's not doing anything different, and he doesn't make it better by not being there.
Sometimes my way of getting in the way is stepping out.
It's one thing to step away, which means what's
It's
happening?
making me so mad because he just acts like he doesn't do anything. You should communicate it with me. You don't talk, that's the problem. Like last night when I tried to talk to you, you try to turn on the TV and watch TV while I'm trying to have a real conversation.
If you're gonna tell the story, tell it directly as it happened. When you came into the house, I was already watching TV when you came into the house. What did you do downstairs?
Okay,
Wait a minute. I'm about to piss somebody off. I hate that, y'all. I hate when someone tries to regurgitate the story and don't give the full details. That shit is annoying. That is annoying. Like, give the full details. So if for some reason you feel the need that you need to share the information, let them get all the details so they can make a sound decision. But I noticed that people do not want other people to know all the details. They only want to know, or they only give the side of the story that makes them look like the victim, or make them look like, you know what I'm saying, woe is me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's great to have a neutral party that really sits down and says, allow her to speak, allow him to speak. and ask questions, intimate questions, so that way they can make a sound decision on what's going on. And I think that this was a perfect example. We're gonna finish playing it, but like she said, well, I wanted to have a serious conversation with you, but you turned on the TV. And he said, whoa, you walked in the room and the TV was already on. That's totally different. You understand what I'm saying? That's totally different. And that's why I said it'd be amazing to me, because when you're emotional, like when you're overly emotional, this goes for men and women, sometimes their details are flawed. You see what I'm saying? Because they've thought the worst. So they promote the worst. So the thought process is, was the TV on when you walked in the room, or did you walk in the room and I said, you tried to talk to me, and I said, I don't want to hear it, and I turned the TV on? Two totally different vantage points. So that was good. I'm glad that he actually said that.
I unplugged the TV. Yes, I did.
But when you're telling the story, see, that's the thing. You guys are horrible with conflict resolution. Who's the adult? I mean, at all times when something's happening like this, one of you has to be an adult. How was it in the beginning? How was sex? How was affection?
Well, he doesn't kiss me, and he's not affectionate. Never.
Man.
And when I try and kiss him, he turns his face away.
What do you think that communicates?
It probably communicates neglect.
Why is it funny?
It's funny at the simple fact that you're not giving the reason as to why I'm not as affectionate with
What's
as
the
I
reason?
used to be.
The abuse?
That, for me, that was a red flag.
Don't go there.
It should be red flag. It should be red flag.
What, like you beat me?
Yeah.
Well, let's not.
Wait. Flag. When you go to kiss someone, they're just trying to be bothered. I'm not trying to be aggravated, or whatever case may be. It's always a deeper. This therapist just said, hold on, wait. You know what I'm saying? If there was some verbal, you know what I'm saying, valid. Sometimes you need someone else that's valid.
Wait, Andrea.
Salute, lady, salute.
It's a healthy sign when someone moves away from someone who's abusive. I wouldn't want him to say to me, you know what? She hits me, she throws things at me, she yells at me, she puts me down, and yet I want to hug her and kiss her all the time. That doesn't make any sense. Let me bring up a topic. When she was pregnant and sadly miscarried, that you weren't really a supportive partner at all.
That is not the truth. I was there.
Denise, what was your reaction when I told you I was pregnant?
My reaction was, where our relationship is right now, I couldn't even fathom how a child would come into a relationship that is at its all-time low.
What I went through.
Wow. You guys are not in a good place. You guys are not seeing eye to eye. There's some type of turmoil. There's a level of toxicity. There's some problems. Why would you want to bring a child into a situation where you guys are not getting along, not seeing eye to eye? Because this is what's going to happen. And I was in a situation where it was always like a one-upper. I don't know if you guys are going to, but rock with me. I'm going somewhere. Like, I couldn't have a problem that lasted more than a day or a couple days, because every time that I would have a problem, they would always have a bigger problem. It would always be about taking care of them and supporting them. And this is why I see right now, it's like, okay, we're already in this rocky stage. So now we have to put that aside and now focus on the pregnancy. And I would say, well, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. I don't think this is the right time. So I understand what he's saying in regards to saying this might not be the right time, because now that you're pregnant, now that you're extra emotional and you think that everything should be put aside and the focus should be the pregnancy. But I can understand someone saying, well, I don't really know if I want to even be in this relationship, so I don't know if I want to have this child. I get it, I understand, but that's why you need someone else to be able to articulate your feelings to your partner. Because if your partner, whether man or woman, is overly emotional, they're not going to hear the facts. They're not going to listen to the logic. They're not going to think about the circumstances that you guys are in right now. So let's get both sides of the story. Let's get back to it.
With the incomplete pregnancy, you were just kind of like, whatever. You didn't carry the baby. Like, you don't know how I felt.
You see, I was not like whatever. but I can only react the way I know how to.
But show some empathy.
I don't like to see her. I don't like to see no woman cry.
So talk to her, do something. This counts. I'm watching.
Andrea, I don't like to see you cry. I wish things could be better.
Why don't you do things different then? Like, why do you keep doing the same things?
But
Like, if I'm the only person trying,
but
like,
it takes,
I'm trying. You feel like,
but
I'm
it takes
really,
two
like,
people.
Why you don't take ownership for anything that you do?
I have made mistakes. I've told him I've made mistakes.
And like, this is the first time.
You know why the conversation never happens? You are very impatient.
Andrea has called out what she needs to do differently and what she wants to work on. I haven't heard any of that from you. You seem to not be sure if you want to even be in this anymore.
You're right
so
about
power
that.
kind of falls on you right now, because my sense is you want to be in this.
Yes.
You want to be in
I'm
this.
questioning it, and I'm trying, but you have to meet me halfway.
Let me ask you a quick question though. If someone asked you, what are the reasons why someone should leave a relationship and feel okay about it, what would you tell them? What are the deal breakers? Okay. Okay. 2 of the reasons that you think it's okay to leave a relationship, you've done to him.
Right.
So tell us what the physical abuse looked like.
Ladies and gentlemen, verbal, physical, or emotional abuse is all zero tolerance. If you feel that you can say whatever you want to say to people, do whatever you want to do to people, and expect those people to stay in a relationship with you, stay there to take your abuse, no, right? No. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thought process is, of course, if you need to get professional help, get you some professional help, professional counseling, sit down. But here's the thought process. Some people are fighting for people, and those people are fighting to get out of your life. Like they're giving you all the signs. They're ignoring you. They don't care how your day went. They're not having conversations with you. They're not having sex with you. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to go anywhere. They're just emotionally somewhere else. Like they're always involved elsewhere. It's never involved with you. You are holding them, you are pulling them, you are cuffing them, you are cementing walls, you are locking doors, you're doing everything you can to keep that person inside that relationship, and they've already left. You're locking up a ghost. You're locking up the shell of the person because their soul is somewhere else. Their mind is somewhere else. Their effort is somewhere else. Their heart is somewhere else. You done held on to the body, the shell, because that's all that's left. They're gone. And you don't realize that they're gone until something happens where it hits you like, damn. Case in point. You're holding on to somebody. You're just trying to keep the relationship together or whatever case to be. And then they get out the relationship because they've been gone. Right, for quite some time, and then the next 30 days or the next 2 months they're married to someone else because that person made them feel alive. That person made them feel wanted. That person listened. That person was supportive. That person wasn't combative. That person didn't start arguments. That person didn't showcase jealousy. That person knew their worth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to say, how many people are holding on to the shell of a person? How many people holding on to the shell? Not the person themselves. They're gone. They're gone. And see, what happened is you kind of helped them go. See, whereas a lot of us, we talk about the physical abuse. That's the first thing we run to. And of course, when we talk about physical abuse, we never really harp on women when we talk about physical abuse. Let's just be real. But no one drills in the emotional and mental abuse, the verbal abuse. Because that's the way we attack people. That's the way we get our point across. That's the way we promote our level of savagery. And the thing about it is we expect people to take the verbal, mental abuse, the emotional abuse. And that's why I said you have to make sure that when you go to see a couples counselor or whatever, you go in there with realistic expectations, and you also go in there with the facts. Arguing emotions mean nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, arguing emotions mean nothing. Factually, what happened? Factually, this took place. Because what happens is your emotions versus their emotions, the thought process is what factually happened that caused these emotions to occur. And then a lot of times, you guys, you got to understand that some people are emotional about some past trauma that they just get over. Oh, well, my husband cheated. My wife cheated. So now their insecurities, for some reason, every time something happens, that plays into the new relationship. So it might not even be you, but you're the one who has to bear the brunt of the negativity. You have to open up the garbage bag and see what's all in it. You have to open up their closet and see what's all in it. It's like, I didn't know you had all these skeletons. Now, I knew it was some issues, but I didn't know it was all of this. So what happens is you end up scaring the person away, or the person gets tired of carrying your garbage bag around. Every time you sit down, it's like, okay, well, let me open up this garbage bag full of nonsense. Let me open up this door full of nonsense. And people get tired of dealing with nonsense. They get tired of dealing with people who are jealous and insecure, and you know what I'm saying? Who's that? Where you going? Like, it's like, that was my mother. That was my dying mother, motherfucker. Like, shit, I mean, goddamn. So, I mean, I would think that if you guys need to get counseling, pick somebody that, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate that. But I really want to see men and women build together professionally and personally. But I think that we get emotional to the point where it's just like, man, we think that emotions outweigh facts. However we feel, whatever we want to say, and then we expect the other person to take it. Like, you take this verbal abuse, you take me having low self-esteem, you take me being jealous, and you keep on pushing and pushing and push. See, the thing about it is, you didn't push this person to the breaking point. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. I ain't one to leave a relationship, but don't push me. I ain't one to cheat, but don't push me. And you push them every day, every chance you get, you push them. You push them with negativity. You push them not being a reliable partner, not being a confidant, not being a team player. You push them by not being realistic. Come on, let's talk about it. I'm about to piss somebody off. You've been pushing and pushing and pushing. It don't matter if it was 30 days or 3 years. 3 years or 15 years. The fact of the matter is, you slowly push, and see, the problem is when you're getting pushed, right? You lose your balance of self. The things you like to do, you don't think about them no more. The places you like to go, you don't think about them no more. You was going back to school, but you was so mentally drained every day being pushed by the person that says, I love you. Right? We're in a relationship together, right? I'm your man. I'm your girl, right? And they're constantly pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to one day you realize, I don't want to be pushed. I don't want to deal with this bullshit. I don't want anyone taking advantage of my time, taking advantage of my money, taking advantage of my heart, taking advantage of my mind. Don't put your fucking hands on me. I don't want to be pushed. And when people realize that they don't want to be pushed, what they find is the value of their worth. And when they find the value of their worth, they leave that motherfucker. And then that motherfucker is left bitter, mad, and upset. How dare you leave me? How dare you not allow me to abuse you? Who do you think you are? I'm about to expose your ass. Well, it's just like the guy just said with the whole TV situation. Was the TV on when they walked in the room? When you walked in the room to talk to the guy, was the TV already on? Or for some reason, you're telling the narrative of, well, I walked in to have a serious heart-to-heart conversation, and he turned the TV on and he ignored me. Well, why are we not telling the story correctly? And this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. If you are with a spouse, a man or woman, right? If every time something happens, they never tell the story correctly, it's always some major detail they leave out to make you look like the culprit. Run. Leave. I think you better leave. 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 Ain't nothing to work out. Ain't nothing to talk. Nope. If every time we have a simple misunderstanding, you add all of this extra stuff to make sure that you don't look bad, but the other person looks bad, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Somebody say, oh, are you a relationship coach? I'm a life coach. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a person. I understand people, and I watch people. And you learn a lot just by sitting back and watching people's actions, both men and women. You learn a lot, and a lot of us, for some reason, we don't get to a point where we just sit back and watch. Body language, right? The words that's being used, why they're being used, how they're being used. And I see a lot of people, especially verbally, attack one another and then think that the other person is supposed to, for some reason, not remember all of the heinous things that you say. I had a woman tell me, say something disrespectful about my mother. Now, my mother has been dead for quite some time. And we, of course, we was, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship or whatever, and she's heated, she's mad. Your mama is this and your mama and the hood in me. Sha-na-na-na. The hood in me, like, I hope you slip and break your goddamn neck on the way out the door. I swear to God. Like, I know it ain't icy outside, but I hope you find the only slippery slope and slip your ass down there and break your neck. You can't take that back. But trying to say anything you can, and that's the problem when you're in a relationship and you have someone trying to say anything they can to hurt you, the thought process is, why remain in that relationship? Because now there's no boundaries. There's no respect. There's no understanding of, man, I'm not crossing that line. Can you imagine someone says, hey, you know, your dead mama, blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you come back the next day? Let's eat breakfast. You want waffles? I like waffles. Oh, I was just playing, boo. Come here, boo. Girl, if you don't get your dirty lips, your black dusty lips, oh, garbage pail, dump truck, cut up football looking at. Come on, ain't nobody gonna want to be in those situations like that. Damn, my dead mama. Like, how do you turn around and like, oh yeah, we cool, yeah, everything's straight. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I get wanting to sit down and wanting to be in a situation or whatever, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think we have a problem with saying no. We have a problem with saying no. We have a problem with telling people, listen, man, look, no, you're not gonna do this to me. No, I'm not gonna listen to this. No, you're not gonna put your hands on me. No, you're not gonna talk to me like that. No. For some reason, we allow shit. We allow things to happen. And in the things that we allow to happen, you know, we sit back and we look back on the yesteryear and we say, damn, why did I allow this to happen so long? First of all, why did I allow it to happen? Let's get to that part. Why did I even allow it to happen? But why did I allow it to happen for so long? How many people lost themselves in a bad relationship? How many of you guys lost yourself in a bad relationship? How many people lost themselves dealing with a bad relationship? You ever hear those people always say, when they get out of a relationship, I'm gonna start doing me. I'm gonna live my best life now. My thought process, and I say this numerous times, like, why wasn't you living your best life in the relationship? Why wasn't you happy in the relationship? Why wasn't you being who you are in the relationship? And the thought process is, sometimes we delay our growth so that way we can keep up we can keep a balance with the person that we're dealing with. That means that they do have low self-esteem, if they are jealous, we try not to be so outspoken. We want to keep it balanced. We probably are not networking like we normally would. We want to keep it balanced. We probably are not doing the things that we normally did that brought us attention, because we don't want to make our partner jealous, feel uncomfortable. You know, you probably don't smile. Like, hey, how you doing? That now it's, hey, I'm good. You dumb it down a little bit. Yeah, I ain't wearing no muscle shirts. You know, I ain't letting it hang out. You know, I ain't wearing no gray sweatpants. I'm not doing that. Okay, you good? We straight? Come on, ladies. How many of you had to dumb it down or had to lower your tone a little bit when you was with your man because you didn't want him to feel a certain type of way? You was getting too much attention in the club, so you don't go to the club so often, or you don't, when you go to the club, you can't even look around. You just, oh Lord, please don't let this man start nothing up in this club. Oh Lord, Jesus Christ. You stop going out with your girlfriend. You stop doing things that you like to do that was fun. How many people lost themselves? I don't think you should lose yourself in a relationship. I think there should be a balance that you should provide in a relationship. What things do you like? Now, if you're trying to say, oh yeah, I like to be in a strip club 7 days a week. Pop it, make it rain. Pop it, make it rain. I ain't saying that's balance now. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? There is some compromising that should happen or whatever, but a lot of times, both men and women, it's not even a compromise. They just stop doing things that really make them happy. You know what I'm saying? The hobbies that they were doing, the places that they were going. Of course, if it's toxic and it's bad, it's negative, of course you should stop those things. But I'm just saying, it was some positive things that you like too. Some of you guys like walking in the park, walking on the beach, traveling, painting, going to museums, going to zoos. And it's like all of a sudden now it's like, well, if she's a couch potato, I'm a couch potato, right? If he doesn't want to go out, then I don't want to go out. Like, it's like the things that you like to do, the things that you really enjoy doing. Find someone that wants to be with you. Find someone that wants to promote and make things better for y'all situation. Not always worried about head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? What can I complain about today? That got, whoa. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I never needed couples therapy because I was always able to assess the situation. Either you're good, you're an asset for my life, or you're a liability for my life. I was always able to do that. I was always able to say, hey, this is what's wrong. This is the problem. The issue is that when you tell people this is the problem, they don't listen when it comes directly from you. How many people feel like you assessed the situation and you told your partner, hey, this is the problem. These are the things that I see that's wrong. They didn't listen when it came from you. The person that was in the situation, and the person that was sleeping with them, the person that seen them on a day-to-day basis, they didn't listen to you. But then they go somewhere else, and then all of a sudden they get this revelation, right? They say, oh well, Mario, hey, you overweight, Mario. You need to go to the gym. I don't need to go to no goddamn gym. I don't need to go to, And as soon as I get out the relationship, I start going to the gym. Mario, you need to eat healthy. You need to eat some, you know what I'm saying? You need to watch the things. I don't need to watch the things. See, that's your goddamn problem. And as soon as you get out the relationship, you start eating healthy. You need to fix your credit. I don't need to fix my goddamn, see, that's your goddamn. And as soon as you get out the relationship, you fix your credit. Ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck? All of a sudden you get this revelation of all the things that was told to you in the relationship. How many of you all help assess your partner? Help assess your partner because you wanted them to win. You wanted them to be great. You wanted them to live their best life. So you were saying, hey, these are the things that I see. These are the things that, we can work on together. But for some reason, y'all go y'all separate ways. But for some reason, when you was telling them the things to make them great, to make them better. They didn't want to do it because it was coming from you. But the minute they got out the relationship, they started doing it. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This is just me, y'all. If I was telling you something positive that was going to build you up individually and us collectively, and you didn't take heed to it, when you get out the relationship, right, and you start doing it, I don't give a fuck. On behalf of everyone who took the time to try to make somebody else better, to try to build somebody else up, when y'all get out of that relationship, stop thinking that the people that you were with in the relationship that was telling you to do the shit, now they care. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They're just looking at you like, you dumb, ignorant motherfucker. All the time you was wasting, pushing and pushing and pushing, when you could have been actually saying, hey, let's build this shit up. Let's win. So I'm glad that you found yourself. That's cool. But the fact of the matter is, look at all the time that you wasted. A lot of you all are wasting time. Someone is telling you right now, stop wasting your time. Think more positive. Be more positive. Start listening to things and people that really help empower you, that say, you know what, there's a better way I can talk to this woman. There's a better way I can talk to this man. There's a better way I can conduct this business. But for some reason, it's like the only thing that we're good at is pushing people. Well, you're going to push someone out of your life that was an asset to your life. You're going to push someone out of your business that was an asset to your business. You're going to push your children away. You're going to push your family members. You're going to push your friends. You're going to push the strangers that was going to open up the doors and windows of opportunity. You're going to push them away because of your bad attitude, because your lack of respect, your lack of self-awareness, your lack of understanding. Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario J. This is Tough Love. It's time to get something to eat. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Let me know your feedback. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, moderators. You guys are wonderful. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I see you guys leaving great feedback or whatever case may. I really appreciate you guys. The Tough Love family is definitely growing, and I appreciate everyone that is willing to have the conversation. We're not just listening to reply, we're listening for comprehension and to provide positive feedback. Adult up. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.